Good evening. My name is Larry Hall. I am President and CEO of QNet Information Services. We are a technology company. We do managed services, managing other businesses, technology. We've been in business 23 years, and hopefully I can share something to help you become successful as well.
Okay, y'all can clap for him. So we gotta appreciate each other. My name is Montez Jones. I'm the owner of Tez Jones Training Solutions. I'm also an executive board member with the Arlington Black Chamber of Commerce and co-chair of the Mayor's Black Advisory Council with Ms. Vandella here. As a business owner, I help organizations and people go from here to there. In between here and there is growth. So I help them to grow themselves and their businesses. We have to realize that if you grow inside, you'll grow outside. So I'm a certified speaker, teacher, trainer, and coach, and executive director with the John Maxwell team. So I help businesses to do whatever they want to do in the way that they want to do it. Thank you.
Good morning, guys. My name is Nino Lee. I own Shop by Nino. I also own SBN Security Incorporated. It's a level 4 security company that services mainly professional athletes as well as some rappers or industry individuals. My photography company has been in business for about 8 years now, and my security company has been in business for about 4 to 5 years.
Good morning. My name is W.T. Jones. I'm president of Triple J Design and Construction. Family-owned business. Second generation we've been in business over 50 years. We have a third generation coming behind us that's going to pass the business on to. We specialize in commercial construction. We started out specializing in building churches. But we have branched out to do some residential and small shopping strips of that nature. And we're just all the time trying to do, have a level of expertise as a business and an honesty that we can pass on to our generation, to our people.
Before we get started, the featured speaker is really serious about trying to get in. He asked me, can you please zoom me in? I can talk on the phone. I said, no, look, I can't do that. My daughters, they're 19, 20 years old, they can do that. I can't do that, so I'm not going to even try it right now. I'm just going to tell them not today. Okay, so do you have a question?
Yes, sir. My question is to all of the panel members. What is your motivation when you get up in the morning?
First, all of them. She said all of them.
What motivates me is the thrill of doing business and helping other businesses grow. And I'm just really excited about doing that. That's what keeps me motivated. That's what kept me going for the last 23 plus years, is helping others be successful and to grow. Making money too.
That helps. So my motivation is adding value to people. So in the morning, getting up, praising God, saying I have another chance to get it right and to do something better and to be something better. Because I think everybody wants to do, be, and have more. So how can I help you to do, be, and have more? I have to be that first. So that's what motivates me.
What motivates me in the morning, honestly, is my family and my team. Every day when I wake up, I have the mindset that somebody is already up and somebody else is already working. And they're someone's boss. So if I'm someone's boss, I need to already be up and already be working. So my motivation comes from when my team asks me something. If I don't have an answer or if we don't have a current solution, that's my motivation. motivation to get up in the morning. So no question goes unanswered, no customer goes unnoticed, and we run a efficient business.
I'm a workaholic, so it doesn't take much to motivate me, because I'm always working, consistently working by being in small business and my own company. I know that I have to be working when others are sleeping. So it's what really motivates me. And then to finish, completion motivates me. I like to see a finished product. So I know there has to be a continuous start for a finish.
Okay, so my question is, okay. I know, we have faith, to continue going, regardless of what things look like. But how do you overcome some of the obstacles that you face, that can possibly be discouraging? And this is for everybody.
Okay, can I ask a question? Are you talking about internal obstacles or external obstacles?
External.
External, okay.
Well, say the first thing, faith, and then for the external obstacles, that I think preparation and knowing what you're dealing with, knowing the situation, and believe that it can be solved, and don't quit until it's complete.
So I also agree faith is, of course, the first thing. But the next thing is whenever you reach an obstacle, I believe that's when it's the most time for you to grow. Whenever you have something that you're faced with that you can't do, that's when you add to your team somebody that can do it. You never know what you really can't do until you can't do it. So whenever you reach an obstacle, add to your team to someone that can do it. If you're not good at painting walls, eventually you're gonna have to add a painter to your team if you want a building. If you're not good at rerouting floors or rerouting ceilings, eventually you're gonna have to add someone that can do it to your team. So whenever you reach an obstacle, just add to your team. And once you grow your network, it grows your net worth.
I have to look at it the same way they do, is with faith. The other thing I would tell you is run your race like a hurdler. Hurdlers never look at the hurdle. They look at the goal. So if you look at that obstacle and you see that obstacle, you're going to focus on that obstacle. If you focus on the goal and not the obstacle, then the obstacle becomes smaller to you and you get that answer, like he said. Also, if you believe in your source, you believe that you're already resourced to get there, so that obstacle is just something that, as old school folks understand, Parliament Funkadelic, so low you can't get under. You'll get that one on the way home. But so when you look at that, if you can continue to focus on that obstacle, the obstacle is going to get larger and larger instead of focusing on the goal. Don't be married to the plan, be married to getting to the goal. Sometimes we get married to that plan to say, I'm going to go this step, I'm going to go that step. And then something like COVID hits and we say, oh, my steps are all off now. So look at it as like a hurdler would. Continue to focus on your goal.
Faith obviously is the key to success, because without God, you really are working by yourself. But obstacles, how I overcome is planning ahead and having a backup plan. Never go in thinking this is the only way, and utilizing the resources you build along the way. business, you're gonna develop relationships. You're going to have relationships that can help you with situations where it's outside of your expertise, and then you utilize those resources to overcome those obstacles when you run into them. But always plan and have a backup. That's what I do.
So my name is Danny Baker, and I'm with you guys and what you're saying. But I was sitting here and I was thinking that on a day where everything is on a perfect day, things are perfect, and what you're saying. But there come times when we have to deal with internal stress in order to reach those points. So my question would be to you guys is, well, how do you deal with that stress along the way? Maybe staying up all night, burning the candles. How do you deal with the stress of maybe carrying that into family life? What do you do mentally, physically? How do you handle that on a day-to-day basis, even on a week, monthly basis?
Great question. How I handle stress is prayer. I remove myself from the challenge or whatever it is that I'm dealing with, because when you're looking at it, when you're in it, you don't see what the solution is.
Yeah.
Step away from it. Pray, meditate, and then look at it again, and then you'll see ways to resolve and overcome it. And don't worry about things you can't control. That's something I built into myself, is if I can't control that situation, if it's outside of something that I can do, I'm not going to worry about it. That just handles itself, and most times it will.
Awesome. I definitely agree with that. Mr. Baker, here's what I would say. In prayer is definitely one. Prayer is how we talk to God. Intuition is how God talks to us. So listen to your inner self. I meditate also, but I go to the gym. I try to make it there at least 3 times a week. So, when I'm at the gym, I'm trying to work off some stress. But I also, sometimes, most of the time, I get my best ideas in the gym.
Yeah.
So I have my cell phone or something, and the idea comes into my head. I hit the notes page, and hey, that might be the next class that I teach. So prayer, meditation, intuition, which is listening, and then know yourself. If you don't know how stress affects you, for me, I know it hits me in my shoulders, right here. And if it hits me in my shoulders, I know if you could say something to me today, and like you said, it's a perfect day. It hits me and we can shake hands and go about our day. Tomorrow I'm stressed out. You say that same thing in the same way at the same time, and it hits me differently. And I'm like, Mr. Baker, hold on. We need to talk about that. So you got to know yourself to say, hey, I'm stressed out. I'm not going to let that interfere with our relationship, because I know on that perfect day, it wouldn't mean a thing. So knowing myself, because I know I'm the hardest person to lead me. I got to lead myself.
All right.
Well, I guess I'm just a little bit younger. My answers are a little bit different. I do go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. I go to the gun range 3 to 4 times a week. But I really don't deal with stress. When I have my team meetings every week, I tell them point blank period, if I'm stressing, that means you're not doing your job. My team's job is to make sure I don't stress. And I very well enforce that. I am a very good delegator. So stressing within my companies is not something that I ever have to deal with. Otherwise, I might as well do it myself.
Amen. Well, I don't know if you've had any of you been in small business work with family,
Yes.
My main staff is family. And that's stressful. Because family tends to go a little bit farther than the average person will. In my business, I try to talk to my employees, which is my family, not subcontractors. I have more kickback with my family than I do with subcontractors, which creates stress in the in-house. So a lot of times I have to get out, and then first of all, it's so much prayer. So much prayer, because failure, it's been times through business you learn as you go. Long time ago, I would be pacing at night, dealing with situations. I don't do that anymore, because I have a brother that works with me. We're the total opposite. He's laid back. Doesn't nothing bother him. And I'm pushing. Well, I'm pushing hard, and he's laid back. So when we had to come together, I had to start getting a little bit laid back. We had to push a little harder. So it made us balance out. But a lot of patience and a lot of prayer. And through time, you'll learn that as situations change, as you come through a situation, you can look back and say, I made it through that. I can make it through this.
Thank you, brother. Gentlemen, you're doing a great job sharing with us so many things from your own personal experiences as business owners. I'm Tawana Hayward Bay. I've been a business owner for about 17, almost 18 years. And I would like you all to share a little bit about strategy for business owners, whether they're a small business, a new business, maybe they've been in business for a year or 3 years, 4 years. All of you are sharing from different industries, different backgrounds. You've been in business so many years, all the way up to 30-something years? So my question is this: what are good strategies for a business owner to stay in business because they are consistently getting business? We know that nothing happens unless somebody sells something. So we're in business for profit. We need to make money, pay the bills, pay our employees, buy equipment, whatever it is that we need for our respective industries. How do we do this? Is this through bidding? Is this through certifications as a marketing tool? If you all could share from your experience about your marketing strategy, or what is effective, what brings in the paper, what helps us as business owners stay in business? Because we want to go the long haul. We want generational wealth. We want to have something we can leave for our families. We want to make an impact on our communities, our churches, however we're spending the money after we pay the bills. Please share from that perspective, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's start on this end this time.
First of all, marketing is important. Marketing, you kind of touched on everything in your conversation. Marketing is important. We went a long time by word of mouth. Business established, the market we were in, we began to be known, so work was coming. Then we had some low periods where we had to start doing marketing. And then knowing your lane, knowing what you're good at, and because this has become a time of specialty. This time now is specialty. What are you really good at? What do you do best? And those things that you do best, and usually what you do best is usually the easiest for you to do. So find out whatever it is that you do best and try to do that. And then I tell young people all the time, I said, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you know, I would hate to go somewhere and go to work 8 hours and hate to get up and go. That's the worst feeling I could ever have. To get up every morning, go somewhere that I dread going. So, you know, find out, I teach young people all the time, find out what you really love to do. Then it makes it easier for you. Cash flow. Don't live beyond your means.
Oh, that's good.
That's what I was taught by my father and grandmother. Don't live beyond your means. That's my number one. We pay ourselves, but we could be paid a lot more. But when COVID hit, we're glad we didn't pay ourselves more. So we were able to sustain all through COVID, which was recently, without a problem. So now my number one, don't live beyond your means.
So whenever I think about strategy, this is actually what I go over with my team the most. You have to look at what your competition is doing. Strategy is all about how you maneuver to get to another level. Strategy is what takes you to another level. When we are in our weekly meetings per se, the first thing I ask is, with my security team, what other security teams have you seen recently? What have they done right and what have they done wrong? One thing that came up in our meeting this week was the shooting that happened at, I want to say it was Ecstasy, of the young lady that drove into someone and got killed by a security officer. We looked at that video 40 times because I wanted to show them a easier solution, a different solution, and how it got to where it was. Everyone has their own opinion, which I do respect, but I like for my team to know it's not always one outcome. It's several different outcomes that you can always take. And on the security level, since all of us are armed, I rarely like to get a text message saying, we just had a shooting. I've gotten it before, but that is not the highlight of my Sunday morning or Monday morning. Hey, we just had a shooting last night, but nobody's hurt. Never the highlight. I prefer my guys not to discharge their weapons at all, unless really need be. But the main key to strategy is actually knowing what your competition is doing. In photography, you have to know what is the best camera to use. You have to know if you're going to have other videographers or other photographers at your venue, you need to know what they're using. You need to know who they are, what they look like. If they will be there or someone that works for them will be there. Because the last thing you want to do is burn a bridge or have unmatched competition. That's what strategy is.
We're going right now. Just in case somebody wants to know where it's coming from. Strategy. Two things. When it comes to strategy, if that's what you want, write down what you want list. I have a what I want list that I read twice a day. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon. And the majority of it is manifesting. So I have to change my what to want list. So if you want to have a strategy, then have a strategy for that, of what you want. The other thing I would tell you is know your numbers. What's your customer acquisition cost? How much does it cost you to acquire this customer and to go serve that customer? When you know your customer acquisition costs, then you can go and you'll know your profit margin. Where's your profit margin coming from? Because sales is a transference of emotion, and then we logically say, I want that. So if I know my customer base, my margins, I know my numbers, then I also know my ebbs and my flows. I'm a 26-year Air Force veteran, so I used to think that I didn't sell anything while I was in the Air Force. And my coach, I'm a certified coach, so I hired a coach to help me. He said, let's go back, Montez. How did you sell, being in a cop and equal opportunity and a strategic advisor, how did you sell an equal opportunity class to a commander? How could you go and tell a commander you have sexual harassment or discrimination happening in your organization, and you are the one that can come and teach about that? And I told him, I said, well, the problem was they didn't think it was happening. So I changed my marketing, like she said, and went to the commander and said, how would you like to improve your teamwork? I can do team building. I can help you with communication. And in the middle of the class, I would throw sexual harassment and discrimination in there. So that was selling. I didn't get paid for it at the time, but he had me recall those sales of recognition of how I did that in the military so I can transpose that into business. So you have to look at your ebbs and flows, and I went to ebbs and flows because I know the fiscal year for the government ends October 1st. So my government fiscal year, I know they're gonna have a real ebb between August and September. I get calls, I need a class yesterday. Okay, I can do that. Let's get it done. October, nobody wants to spend. That's my flow time into my ebb time. So how do I stay in shape? I'm a basketball referee. Not because I love the game, I want to stay in shape, not because my business is doing bad. It's just something that I love to do, that I like to do. So know your ebbs and your flows, know your seasons. When I say seasons, how is your spring, summer, fall? When's your winter time when you need to gather your nuts and say, hey, we got to hold on to it now because we're in the ebb. So know those things, and that will help you with your strategy to get you to the next level.
For me, I have a business plan. It's a strategic business plan that I work on every year. And I then revisit it every 6 months or so to see how I'm doing. And basically, from the marketing side, what I do is several things. One, all of my employees are sellers because we are a service organization. So if our service is bad, we're not going to get any opportunities. And believe it or not, when you're doing a bad job, everybody knows that a lot more than when you're doing a great job.
True.
So all my employees are trained to be salesmen. They're engineers, most of them are technical people. That's one. So they're ingrained to sell themselves and to do a great job. The other thing we do is lunch and learns. We'll have a technical lunch and learn because I have to train my customer on what I'm selling them. So by doing the lunch and learns, we bring them in and we train them on things that they need to know about their business. The biggest thing right now is cybersecurity. We'll bring in some customers and we'll teach them what cybersecurity is all about, how those hackers are out there trying to take over small business. A lot of small businesses think that the hackers is not after them, but they are actually the target because they are usually doing business with bigger business, and they know that, and they're really exposed to it. And so we train them on what we do well. The other thing we do is networking, being a member of the chamber, like we are now. Just talking to Mr. Jones earlier, talking to Mr. Hanson yesterday. We're networking. We're learning about each other's business, I use his business, he used mine. I mean, that's another way of growing your business, is using each other. And then the other thing is, we do website flyers. We do some strategic marketing by sending it to strategic customers who've identified, but we don't just blast it out like a lot of these get. And then we teach our sales folk to don't over-talk the sale, but listen more than you talk. Because a lot of times, those that, at least for me, those that are selling me, if they're talking more than they're hearing what I'm asking for, they generally don't win the sale. And so I use all of those methods as ways of growing our business. And then the biggest thing is the customers you already have are repeat business. I get more revenue growth from repeat business of customers I already have because we're doing a great job.
How does y'all like that?
Oh,
That was the last question. I guess y'all have already started eating, but we're gonna have lunch now. Will y'all give the panel another great hand? Y'all go ahead and have a seat. Look, guys, y'all don't know this was spontaneous. Like 5 minutes before we started, I went to each one of these guys and asked them, hey, the speaker, I told them, I said, the speaker is at the airport, you can't, not in our airport, he's not even in Dallas right now. We gotta do something. And these guys stepped up to the plate and knocked a home run. What do y'all think? Now the speaker has been relentlessly trying to zoom in, but we haven't been able to connect with him yet. He feels so bad. He said, man, can I at least zoom in or say something? I said, well, we'll just see what happens. So we've been trying to.
My apologies for not being able to make it there. I can't control the plane, but I definitely did want to be there. I do want to thank Brother Randall for reaching to me to speak to you all. I don't know what was said prior to, or what was said before I got on here, but I just like to say, hey, I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm a strong advocate of entrepreneurship, specifically in the African American community, because I think that economic stimulation and us becoming strong financially will allow for us to be able to create whatever dream our future that we want for our children. And here's the biggest thing. I started teaching in Lancaster ISD, and what I soon realized was that there was only so much that I could actually do in the classroom. Like I couldn't help the children, but if the children were going home to an environment that was not conducive for the continuing of the education or the continuing of the instillment of esteem, and I want to find a way to impact children on a bigger scope. And I had this dream of building a school, but I had to figure out how was I going to get there. And my biggest reason for how I wanted to get there did not want us to have government grants, not because I'm against it, it's simply because if I could provide a way to create a school where it was privately funded, we could teach our children the information that we want to teach our children without anybody kind of getting involved, which leads me to a point. Many of us have been taught for a very long time, just say I. Let me finish the question first. I want to hear I if you heard Follow Your Passion.
Hi.
And here's the biggest thing, especially when it comes to me. If any of you were to ever get to know me, you'll know I'm a big stickler for words. I'm a big stickler for definitions. I'm a big stickler for true understanding, because what we don't realize is that these words that we speak over our lives can either create prisons for us, or free us to our destination. And the definition of passion at its core is a barely controllable emotion. That's the definition of passion. So when people tell us to follow our passion, by definition, they're telling us to follow a barely controllable emotion. And so that's why we're always so up, and that's why we're always so down. That's why we're always so this. Because by definition, so we're praying to God and we're asking God, can you deliver me from this? Can you give me this opportunity? Can you take my life to the next level? The reason why we keep getting back and forward or opportunities that fizzle out really quickly is because you got to be careful what you're asking God, because He's gonna give you exactly what you want. And so when you talk about the definition of passion, by definition, it is a barely controllable emotion. It's much like fire. It's supposed to ignite you and get you excited, but that's not the very thing that you lean on. And just in case some of you all don't know a little bit of my history, I have an investment in business development holdings company. We're worth about $28 million. We did it debt-free. So we owe nobody, no outside investor. We never took out a loan from a bank. We never took out credit. We literally built it from one business to the other, and I started buying companies and taking my profits and buying companies to be able to do it. So we're in the education industry, we're in the tech industry, we're in the real estate. We just bought a $3.7 million real estate portfolio, and then we're also in the financial sector. And all of my companies are run by CEOs, by executives, and I'm only 31 years old. And so the biggest thing we have to figure out was I can't chase my passion, because that's a lose-lose game. Because if I just depend on what I'm passionate about at the moment, there's a lot of things that we all have been passionate about at some form of passion that fizzled out. There is something that we've been passionate about, that thing, that true thing you were passionate about, but they were never supposed to be aligned to the destination. So the biggest thing I realized was all of us were called on this planet, on this earth, to fulfill some type of fulfill our destiny, what God has given us. Well, it's hard to spell destination without seeing destiny inside of it. So we got to figure out exactly what is the end goal. My end goal was I wanted to build my own school. My end goal was I didn't want to depend on any outside funding in order to give my daughter and my children and other children the real type of education that can get us back into the seat of control of our destiny. So in order to do that, I had to figure out what vehicle, my purpose, what vehicle can I get into that will allow for me to generate enough money or generate enough profits so that I can do what I feel like I'm called to do. And this is the piece that we got to kind of figure out for ourselves. And the biggest thing we talk about, the scripture says, your gift will make room for you. Notice it doesn't say gifts plural. It is a singular word, your gift. So, feel like we have a lot of different gifts. But that's not really, it's not based on scripture. Scripture says your gift will make room for you. So if I know what my gift is, I can use my gift to fulfill me so that I can be able to do all these other amazing things in my life that I want to actually create. And so what it forced me to have to do was look at internally what my gift was, not how much money I can make first. And a lot of us make the mistake in business because we look at it, we try to find how much money I can make first. And we don't ask ourselves, God, what makes me different? Why did you call me here? And then how can I find opportunities, business endeavors that will allow for my gift to be able to make room for me? I don't want to have to fight to get into a room. I don't want to have to fight to talk on anybody's stage. I don't want to have to fight because in your word, you said that these things are already here for me. You said my cup will run over. You said that if I believe in your words, that all of these things will be added onto me. If I seek you first, the kingdom of God, all of these things will be added to me. So God, I'm seeking you. What is my gift? What is my calling? And let me use that calling as a key. Because I want us all to understand that your key to your inheritance is set in your gift. Your gift is the key to your inheritance. And if you can figure out what your gift is, you can unlock the door, everything that God already has for you. That's why he said the gift will make room for you. There is a room for you. Your kingdom in heaven, your heaven on earth, that is there. So when I begin to start figuring out I guess it turned out to be like me buying a bunch of businesses, but it was only for one sole purpose, so that I can be able to teach our children the four main sectors that I think that will allow us to become financially independent. Finance, the four main sectors: finance, education, technology, and real estate. So that was my whole purpose of building this portfolio company, so I can become a master in these endeavors, so that when we started our school, there was a pathway of somebody that they can look at, that they can see, that has mastered certain things that they can be able to walk into and learn skill sets before they even graduate college. And so that's kind of like the things that kind of went. And so when I started to figure out what my gift was, I realized what it was, and then I began to ask myself, okay, God, once I now know my gift, now what opportunities best fit my gift? Not what opportunities make me the most money. God, what opportunities do you have that are out here in this industry, in this world, in the market? What opportunities best fit my gift? When I mentor and I talk to entrepreneurs all the time, they find themselves in businesses that make money, but they feel enslaved to the very businesses that was supposed to set them free. And the reason being is you're making the money, but you feel stuck because you were never created to do that business. You were never created to be in that spot. So you feel enslaved to the very business that was supposed to be your freedom ticket. So you're in somebody else's room. That's why you feel uncomfortable. You're in a room that was never designed for you. So that's why you're getting scraps off the table. That's why you feel like you don't fit. So if I say, okay, I know my destination, God. I figured out what my gift was. Now the purpose of these opportunities, your purpose is your vehicle. What vehicle of choice, what business opportunity best fits my gift? Because if y'all remember, a vehicle's job is to get you from point A to point B, correct? It's a vehicle's job. The vehicle's job is not to do, now you got all these nice shiny cars, some of y'all look like y'all got some money up there, okay? I can see through the zone now. Y'all can loan me $1 or $2. This brother right there with that suit and that blue tie, that blue shirt with that yellow tie, yeah, I see you, brother. Yeah. You like you got $1 or $2. Some of y'all got nice vehicles. But I don't want you to get caught up in the vehicle, because that's where the devil want to keep us. The enemy wants to keep us in vehicles that keep us confined from getting to where we're supposed to go. So, when I'm looking for a vehicle that's supposed to get me from point A to point B, I gotta ask myself, based on my gift, if I sit my gift in this vehicle, can this vehicle get me to my destination safely? I got a question I want to ask. This will bring this point to his head. Anybody from Dallas here? We got a bunch of people from Dallas. We got some Dallas folk in here that live from Dallas. Okay, how long does it take to get from Dallas to Houston? Y'all ain't gotta yell at me now. Okay, I get it. So, first of all, some of y'all driving 30 minutes, going fast, okay? Y'all need to slow your tail down. I'm talking about 3 hours. All right. You see how y'all said that? So, you see how y'all said that, no question? Y'all said that, no question, 3 hours. But if I wanted to take that same question downtown to someone who was home and playing, and I were to ask them, how long does it take to get from here in Dallas to Houston? They'll say 2 to 3 weeks walking. Question to Highland Park. Y'all know what Highland Park is. If I were to ask them, how long does it take to get from here in Dallas to Houston? You know what they'll tell me? 45 minutes on the plane. Same destination, different vehicles. And a lot of us are going to the right place, but you're in the wrong vehicle. So it's taking you longer to get there. You know where your destination is, but if you don't choose the right vehicle, it's going to force you to be stuck in a situation a little bit longer than God intended for you to be. Some of y'all have been in a business longer than you were supposed to. You were already supposed to be to your freedom number. Some of you are in careers that that was just supposed to be a stepping stone, but you found comfort. Talk about that end goal, talking about that destination. My question to God was, as I have my gifts, what vehicle can get me to that destination of starting a school? The fastest, that fits my gift. Because I don't want to be uncomfortable in this space. So when He shows me the opportunities that fit my gift, it's quite natural that I succeeded, but I can't take credit for the success. God gave me the gift before I was even born. I just asked Him for the opportunities that fit that gift. Because the right gift and right opportunity is like the right, not your power, it is not your will, it's not your might that opened the door. It was the key that fit the door that opened the door for you. So I'm not smarter than anybody in this room. Some of y'all probably got a lot more sense than me. I'm a little throw it off. But what I did ask God for, and I've been extremely intentional for, was, God, what is my gift? Not plural. What is my gift? What that gift is, can I attach it to what opportunity, what vehicles do you think best fits me so I can get to my destination faster? And when I get to my, a lot of y'all know, how many of y'all travel for vacation once or twice a year? Okay. So watch this. If your friend said, hey, sister, I want to go to Dominican Republic. You gonna say, okay, cool, yeah, look, for a week, okay. What we gonna do when we get there? Well, I don't really know what we gonna do when we get there, okay. But where we gonna stay? Well, I don't really know where we gonna stay either. Would you? But I don't know what we do. We don't know what time we get there, and we don't know where we're staying. That's how ambiguous a lot of us when we talk to God about what our end goal is. Millionaire. God, I want to do this. So God said, okay, weekend. Well, anytime, God. Anytime. God says, what are you going to do when you become a millionaire? Anything. God says, who are you going to impact? Everybody. Well, that is too ambiguous of a goal that you're pointing to God that has no context and detail to it. But the more clear and concise you can make what you're going to do when you get there, where you going to invest the money, how you going to invest the money, who you're going to impact, why you're going to. The more defined your end goal is, the more committed you're going to be to get there. So I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I wanted to create. And last year we started our elementary. Pre-K 3 through 3rd grade. It was our first year, and all of the children had free tuition for the entire year. Those business accolades mean nothing if I never got to the end goal of the reason why I got in this game in the first place. It means nothing. But if you know what you're doing, you know what you want to accomplish, but stay committed to the street. Those children need better education. They need to learn our history. They need to be put in environments that curate and give them trade schools and skills that can act. And the current school system is not doing it. So I wanted to get the change. So versus picketing, versus going downtown and stating my claim and putting in bills and stuff. You know what? God, I know to teach them that school about. We're going to teach them children about God. We're going to teach them children about skills. We're going to teach those children about trades. We're going to teach them about wealth. And we're also going to teach them that their inheritance is already here. And you can build your heaven here on earth. That's what we're going to teach them children that are spending this time with me. But that's what I wanted to give you all. Know your destination. Know where you're going. Everything else will fall in place.
Doc.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I know this was kind of sketchy out, but it was last minute. I spent a lot of time around this young man, and what I would love to do is just have him come again in person. I mean, he was quite a personality, very humble, and what he was saying is very, very true. His goal was to start a school that would do the things that he talked about for his daughter and other kids. And he had some kids around. He had, I think, a couple of students in Atlanta that were in school virtual. He's got one PhD that teaches in the school and a master that teaches in the school. And this was their first year, their first full year. And the grade levels that they were, y'all have a hard time hearing me? I hear you fine. And this was their first year, and their grade levels were 2 and 3 levels above where they have preschool kids doing work on the 2nd and 3rd grade level. And they had some virtual students, a brother and sister out of Atlanta, first and preschool. One of them was doing work on a 4th grade level, and they look forward to coming to school every day. But that's what his dream was, not just about his daughter, but to include other kids as well. No government assistance. He funded the school. He paid all the salaries out of his pocket because this was part of his dream. And he wanted to have control of it. He said, let's get the numbers, let's get the statistics together so that we can figure out how we can be a better service to our community. And like I said, I cannot wait for y'all to meet this young man in person. He's quite a gentleman, he really is. But thank y'all for being patient and, you know, even with the tardiness and everything else that went on, I think it was still great information for us. I'm gonna finish it.